All right, we are ready to rock and roll. So, I want to welcome everybody tonight, Tuesday night, the day before April Fool's Day. But this is no joke. This is no joke what we're talking about tonight because this has been very impactful. Some technology that has impacted my practice, has impacted a lot of people that I've been introduced it to. And so, what we're talking about is have you been patched? And I'll introduce myself. My name is Dr. Tony Smith. I'm a doctor of chiropractic in Lancaster, California. Been in practice over 32 years in a multidiscipline facility, excuse me, with orthopedic surgeon, podiatry, pain management, general physicians, the full gamut of healthcare we have at our fingertips. And in my 32 years of practice, I've never seen anything as impactful as this wearable patch because of its ability to be safe, non-invasive, effective, and affordable. So it reaches the masses and impacts the masses. And that's the exciting part that we're going to give you some information because it elevates, activates, and regenerates your overall body wellness and healing properties. So very impactful, very significant on what we can do by the introduction of this X39. So I'm going to talk about the CEO, the inventor, David Schmidt. He's actually has over 200 patents. Probably by the end of this year, said he might even have over 300 patents because he's an inventor and scientist. And he specializes in not just anti-aging, but actually age reversal. He's looking for ways to turn back the clock and has been in extensive research for multiple decades and a lot of his own resources and things. But he also used to work with the U.S. government, General Atomics, Children's Hospital, and a lot of other companies that he's been able to develop technology for them that has been impactful. But what he really focuses himself is on stem cell research because the stem cells are the foundational component of what our body is made from. And if we can impact those numbers and those levels, we can change longevity and wellness for the good. And so I'm going to actually throw the baton over to my good friend Leonidas, Invictus Marquis. He's been a friend of mine for over, I don't know, 20 years now. I believe we've been friends. And he is on a mission too to help people live a better life. He's been on that since I've been was introduced to him, and we kind of locked arms way back then, and have been working together in multiple regions. And he's done some incredible things. He knows this industry and he knows how to build teams, and he is a blessing to everybody he comes in contact with. And I'm super excited to have him on here with me, and because he's going to enlighten you with his information and his knowledge and his energy because he brings it to the table. So, Leonidas, go ahead and take over, please.
Hey, listen, Dr. Tony Smith, appreciate that, brother. You are truly my brother. I would be remiss. I appreciate all the wonderful words, but here's the reality, family. To know Dr. Tony Smith, to know his wife, to be blessed to have been a part of their lives and to have them love on you and, encourage you in some of your darkest moments and periods of time, it's priceless. It's priceless. And so I love Tony. You guys hear me refer to him as my brother. He is my brother in my heart from another mother. And I have just fought to be able to stay connected to him because I knew him and his wife, sure, were going places. They're extremely successful in business, as well as we know that Dr. Tony is, in fact, a doctor. They're extremely successful in building family. They have two beautiful young adults. They have a family life. They have a spiritual life that you can definitely emulate, and it would serve you well to hold on to their coattails. And so I'm blessed. We're blessed. My wife is blessed. My family is blessed. I have a baby boy, a 10-month baby boy. That's a miracle baby because of the relationship and the currency of the relationship with Dr. Tony Smith. So, brother, I love you. I appreciate that. Thank you for allowing me to share this incredible stage with you tonight. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the patent. You're looking at David Schmidt's work, just one of the many patents that he has shared with the world that's transforming lives. And I love the patent because the proof is in the patent. What does that mean? That means we're not rolling the dice. We're not crossing our fingers. We're not going sheepish to our neighbors, our friends, our family and say, well, I hope it works. I hope it works for you, right? No, the proof is in the patent. You don't get issued a global patent unless you've done two things. You've proven to the world that, number one, I'm doing something that no one has ever done before in the history of mankind. And number two, I've proven that it works. It works absolutely. And so you can know with absolute confidence that what you've been blessed to be a part of tonight, because whoever, him, her, them, whoever invited you, you need to thank them. You need to say, thank you for transforming my life. Because if not for you, I would have never known that this information existed. And so we love the patent because the patent tells us what's going to happen the moment people begin to use the technology, because it works. It says, according to at least one embodiment in the invention, which may be worn anywhere. You can wear it anywhere in the human body that causes a beneficial effect by providing phototherapy. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight, to the human body as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells. And that's really what this is all about. Improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidant levels. I felt that in my first 2 hours. Now, if you're not like me and you don't feel it in your first 2 hours, that does not mean it's working. It is absolutely working. But again, management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production. The best type of collagen for your body is the collagen that your body produces, right? And so we're just excited about the fact that we have something that we can go with confidence to our friends, family, and loved ones. And so, proprietary form of phototherapy, it's ours. As Dr. Tony Smith, he said, it's exclusive. You can't get this from a mom and pop location down the street. You can't, if you don't know someone that's part of our community, our intimate community, you're not going to get exposed to it. And so it is a blessing. Again, proprietary form of phototherapy, patented technology. There's no chemicals, no drugs, no stimulants in the technology. And we love it because it's a holistic approach. So if you have friends, family, loved ones who are concerned about, well, I'm taking prescription medications, you don't have to worry about that. And you can assure them that, hey, listen, there's not going to be any contraindicators because we're not introducing any foreign substances to your body or to our bodies. It's non-transdermal. It's not like a nicotine patch or a medicated patch where on the patch, there's something that's transferred onto the surface of the skin and more importantly, into the bloodstream, right? And it's non-invasive. It can't hurt you. Now, stem cell injections, maybe you've heard of stem cell injections. Before Dr. Tony Smith came to me, I had heard of stem cell injections, but had no idea the magnitude and the critical role that they played. And I did not know that stem cell injections don't always work. People pay a lot of money for them. They don't always work. And more importantly, they can damage healthy, tissue in the human body. So that's not the result that you want. We have the best thing going. Benefits of X39. Listen, I love this slide because look, and this is what we have to say, X39 nor LifeWave technology is not intended to treat, mitigate, cure any medical condition or any disease. So let's get that out the way. We'll probably say that a couple more times tonight, but the benefits are undeniable. We don't make any medical claims because, again, we're not a drug. We don't want to be classified as a drug. This is technology. This is stem cell technology, reactivation technology. But the benefits are undeniable. We're talking about optimal health and wellness, improved exercise performance. I've experienced both of those, improvements in strength. At the tender age of 52, I'll be 53 in May. I've experienced that. Improvements in stamina. You better absolutely believe it. A healthy energy flow, you better believe that. And all because, listen, the beautiful thing about it is there's no drugs, there's no stimulants. When I got introduced to this by Tony a little over 3 years ago, I was knocking down Monster energy drinks. So we know that my blood sugar levels were off the chart. At the same time, I was using caffeine and Starbucks here, Starbucky here. And again, I'm spending money just so I can be energetic and make it through the day. That's not what you want. Everybody wants the side effects of caffeine, but they don't want the caffeine crash. Everyone wants the side effects, right, of energy levels, elevated energy levels, but they don't want the sugar crash. More importantly, the elevated blood sugar levels. So what we're dealing with is healthy and the results are undeniable. You just got to give it time so that your body, again, can allow you to feel it. And so I'll turn it back over to you at this point in time, Dr. Tony Smith.
Thank you. So X39 long-term results, and you can actually go to thisisinfo.com, and they have a lot of the case studies, and some of the best studies were done to clinically prove that X39 increases stem cell production and copper peptide production. So it's been clinically proven to do that. And so in that, it's double-blind placebo studies, which again are the best of the best. But what they're seeing in those studies is that 4,000 genes begin to reset. Now, that's a significant number because that's 1/3 of all the genes that our body has. So just in the first few days to reset 4,000 genes is significant because it affects genetics. It affects your longevity. And we are all looking for ways to live longer, live healthier, and live a higher quality of life. And this is one of the most impactful things that I've seen brought to the table to do that, that's so safe and affordable. The brain becomes balanced because one of the significant benefits of increasing copper peptides in the body or anywhere is that it helps reduce inflammation. Inflammation is the root of all disease process in the body. So if we can help minimize inflammatory issues in the body, then we can make a huge impact on overall health and wellness. And then collagen, like Leonidas was talking earlier, the best way to utilize collagen in our body is when our body can actually produce it. So actually bring it to the table instead of trying to get it from external sources and our body assimilate it, break it down, and then put it to use. When our own body produces it, it has the bigger impact and more effectiveness. And then cardiovascular disease, cardiovascular health. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer in the US and probably across the world. And so we've actually seen in multiple cases now the efficiency and effectiveness of the heart become improving over a period of time of utilizing and wearing the patch consistently, not just putting it on for one time and taking it off, but over a consistent use. And understand that this particular wearable patch is not masking anything. It's actually telling the body to turn on the light switch to start producing healthier cells, like we used to when we were younger. But as we got older, our body stopped reduce its production of stem cells and copper peptides. And copper peptides are absolutely necessary for overall health and wellness and longevity. And so what we're doing is basically turning on the light switch again for our body to upregulate the production of those components I just talked about so that our body becomes a little healthier. And as we start to lay down healthier tissue, our body starts to benefit and be more effective in its processes of overall health and wellness. And so again, David Schmidt talks about it's not just anti-aging, it's actually age reversal when you lay down healthier tissue and things start to improve. How do you wear the X39? You can actually wear it anywhere on the body, like Leonidas was saying. But when they did their test studies, they put it at the back of the neck and they put it underneath the belly button just to show replication of this time and time again that it worked. But I've actually had in my practice where I deal with a lot of musculoskeletal issues and athletes and things. And I've had people with rotator cuff issues and different things where I would actually put it on the shoulder, directly on the shoulder, and we start to see other things happening, blood pressure levels improving, cholesterol levels decreasing, blood sugar levels balancing out, and a lot of other benefits going on where the person just started to become healthier, more energetic, and see things improving over a period of time. So again, it doesn't really matter where you put it. You put it on in the morning and then you take it off at night. I just tell people when they get up in the morning and start their daily hygiene, just put it on in the morning. At night, before they go to bed, take it off. And then I tell people put it right by your sink where you brush your teeth, and hopefully you're brushing your teeth. That's it. So, again, they say 12 hours on, 12 hours off. You want to take it off for a period of time so the body can actually rest, repair, and rejuvenate because the body gets used to the signal. So it's going to be more effective and efficient if you actually take it off for a period of time at night and then reapply a brand new one the next day. So again, it can be very impactful. I'll just share a few things. I've been associated, my wife and I, Cheryl, have been associated with the company for over 3 years now. I've seen thousands of testimonies now. I mean, all kinds of different things benefiting. And we've actually put it to the test ourselves. I'm a competitive cyclist. I compete at a very high level. When I was initially introduced to the patch, I didn't have any particular ailments going on, but I was training for some big events. And so I started wearing the patch and I started seeing my recovery improving. I started seeing my point before fatigue improving. And then I started seeing power output on the bike improving. And so things that most people don't monitor, we monitor very closely as a cyclist and different in our metrics and things to see, what works and what doesn't for us. And so I started to see those things. Unfortunately, about a year and a half ago, I took a bad spill and I tore the rotator cuff, 3 of the 4 rotator cuff muscles. I tore my labrum and my bicep tendon. Went to our orthopedic surgeon and said, "You absolutely need surgery." I said, "I absolutely can't take the time to have a surgery. So we got to figure out something to do." Because I couldn't be laid up for 12 weeks in a sling, not seeing patients. And so I actually doubled up with the patches, put it on the front and the back, and never went through surgery. It didn't happen overnight, It was a period of time, but I am now back to full lifting, pressing, no frozen shoulder, no limited range of motion, significant improvement, and I didn't have to resort to a surgery. As well as my wife, unfortunately, went down on the bike too. You can see a common denominator cycling in our family, and had a significant injury to her elbow, broke her elbow, did some damage to her shoulder as well. It had to go through surgery, limited range of motion, all the things, but she was accelerated recovery through every facet of the process. And the doctors, the orthopedics doctors were amazed at how fast she was recovering and how fast she got her range of motion back and everything. And it is a testament of wearing the X39. And so, one of the things I tell people is that we don't just chase around sick and unhealthy people. This is to educate people on how to be proactive with their health, not wait till they get sick and try to get rid of it once you get it, but actually be proactive with your health. Because is there anybody in the house that wants to live a little longer, live a few more months, few more years? Yeah, I think all of us and we want to have quality of life, right? We want to have that good quality of life. Well, this is something to actually we can utilize to be proactive for that that longevity and quality of life down the road, because we're laying down the healthier tissues and optimizing what our body can do. So I'm gonna so now, one of the cool things about being on our team is that you don't have to be a scientist, you don't have to be a doctor, you don't have to be medically educated of any sort. You just need to know where to find the information. And so you go to thisisitinfo.com, and this is where you can do your own due diligence and get the reference and the test studies and stuff. But also, this is where you can send people to get the same information. We all use the same site. All the information and all the test studies and videos and everything is right here at your fingertips. You just need to know where to send people. So you don't have to be an expert. You just need to know where the resources are. So let's throw it back to Leonidas, and he can take the baton for a minute.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, the slide says 75 countries, but we're in 82 countries globally. So that means 81 plus the United States of America. And we were cruising along at about 20 million, come when we go back to 2021. And we had been doing that year after year after year after year. And so I love this slide because documentation beats conversation. Now, 2022, we had an explosion. That's when we introduced X39 and we jumped 300 million. So going from 20 million to 320 million. Now, my wife and I, we got started in 2023. As a matter of fact, January 11th of 2023. And you can see what happened. The company went from 320 million to 430 million, all because, no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. That didn't happen just because of my wife and I. Now, we participated, believe me. And we're still participating because we're still here. 2024, we eclipsed and surpassed 600 million. 2025, again, knocking on the door of becoming a billion-dollar corporation. And as a matter of fact, right now, today, if we had enough soldiers out there heralding the message of our crusade of hope and healing, we could actually be a company right now. We can just turn over and be a $2 billion company right now because we have everything in place to be able to sustain long-term growth. And so we love it. We love it. We're the fastest growing company in our channel. This is what this slide says to you. There's a lot of, small print there, fine print there, depending on whether or not you can see the fine print or not. Don't worry about it. All this simply means is that we're the fastest growing company in our channel, in our industry. We have been now, believe we're working on our third year, and we're unapologetic about that. We are unapologetic about that. There's some great companies in our industry. There's some great companies that they kind of enhance your life. They kind of enrich your life. Listen, we're transforming people's lives for the better. We're talking about optimal health and wellness. We're talking about youth renewal. We're talking about age reversal, not anti-aging, which means slowing the aging process down, but age reversal. So when you look at more than 6,000 plus companies in our category, in our channel, we are number one, not for one lucky year. We didn't slip up and get lucky and we just had a good year. No, we did it for 2 years. And so we're now working on the third year. And again, unapologetic. Why? Because listen, my life has changed. I suffered from insomnia for years. Do you understand what I'm saying? My wife's life has been transformed. She had back pain for 26 years. And in 2 months of wearing X39, it went away. My father-in-law had a kidney transplant. The overall functionality of that kidney went from 60% to 83%, and now is at 87%. So again, you have the right place, right time, right company. And listen, whoever invited you, trust me, they don't need you. We don't mean to be, rude or brash. They don't need you. They love you. So they're just trying to basically let you take advantage of an opportunity whose time has come and is not going away anytime soon. So good stuff. Now, Documentation beats conversation. LifeWave wins 2025 Biotech Breakthrough Award. And you can see again, the documentation there. The only thing I want you to focus on is thousands of nominations from over 15 different countries. So we got thousands of other companies, thousands of other entities that could have won this award from 15 different countries. But LifeWave, showing out again, once again, listen, again, we're unapologetic. We are transforming people's lives. And the only way you win a prestigious award is when you are enriching people's lives, transforming people's lives for the better, not for the worse, for the better. And so we're very proud to, again, continue to add new awards to our if you will, our closet of, again, success. And so, what's important to you in your life at this point in time, in this particular season? I don't know. But if I had to guess, a betting man says, listen, most people have too much month, or should I say, too much month at the end of their money. They're scrambling. They're trying to figure out how ends meet. And we all know, if you haven't done the research, I have, ends don't meet. They just don't. Ends don't meet. And so you got people who are working full-time jobs. And on top of that full-time job, they're out doing Uber Eats and they're out doing other side gigs. And some people have multiple side gigs. And most people don't want to do that. I got an auntie right now. She's in her late 60s and she's working because she has to, right? I asked her, I said, auntie, are you working because you want to or because you have to? She said, I have to. I'm working because I have to. I said, we're going to fix that. And so we're just here to let you know that we have an opportunity where people can get started and they don't have to, sacrifice, the cow and the horses and, the ranch. They ain't got to sell that. You can get started for low overhead, virtually no overhead, and literally transform your people's lives. Maybe you want to travel more, like our friends Veronica and Alan, right? They're global jet setters now. LifeWave's been good to them. They've enriched thousands of people's lives, and that's the law of reciprocity. When you enrich people's lives, well, your life in turn is enriched. So they're able to travel on a dime, go to these beautiful places. I'm just here to tell you, Dr. Tony Smith is here to tell you that you can do it too, and we'll show you how because we got the system in place. And so it's all about duplication. Now, traditional business, high cost, high startup costs, high risk. Most people don't have the expertise or the knowledge. So in the first 3 to 5 years, they're out of business. And second to that, add insult to injury, most people don't have deep enough pockets. They don't have enough liquidity to keep the doors open, right? Here in LifeWave, startup cost is very minimal, very minimal. When I say very minimal, I'm talking about very minimal. You can get started for less than $100. You can't. Now, you won't have the inventory that you need, but you can use third party and still blast off. LifeWave also is addressing the economic turbulence in the world, not just here in the United States, but globally. I've talked about this. Again, there are people who are searching for better ways to be able to find fulfillment because they've been working a job that pays the bills, pays the mortgage, pays the car notes, but they don't have the fulfillment. And so the beautiful thing about cost risks, or when you look at starting a business, is what's the risk versus the reward? Well, listen. When you start with our company, you got a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can't go out and start a Starbucks and get a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Golden Arches, listen, if you got the $2.5 million, they're not going to give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. Hey, listen, if you don't like the way the French fries taste after you put it in the oil and you put the 3 minutes, then you can get your money. It doesn't work like that. You got to go to Hamburger University. Now, you don't have to go to LifeWave University, but we do have a system that is duplicatable that anybody, whether you have business background, no background, whether you've been a fighter jet electrician like myself, or you're a doctor like Dr. Tony Smith, or, whether you trained horses like our friend Veronica, listen, it does not matter. If you see the opportunity, because LifeWave has landed in your lap by divine intervention, it's time for you to seize the opportunity. And we don't want you worrying about, can you get into profit mode? We can get you into profit mode in your first 30 days. Matter of fact, if you slid your credit card before your credit card statement arrives, we can get you in profit mode. And so again, we've eliminated all excuses. Traditional business, LifeWave wins every single time. And so I kind of touched upon this. What happens by creating solutions? You enrich people's lives. You transform people's lives. You restore fulfillment. You restore hope. You give people the ability to turn back on the dream machine, and they start to dream about the things that they've always wanted to do but couldn't do because of a lack of money, a lack of liquidity. LifeWave is filling all those voids. Again, the market is unsaturated. It's a blue ocean market, not a red ocean market where you got, mom and pa's trying to compete against our technology. Our X39 patch is better than your X30. No, it's exclusive. No one has what we're offering. That's another reason why we're excited and enthusiastic about it. Now, as Dr. Tony Smith alluded to, the word is starting to get out. starting to get out. So that lit a fire under me. Like, look, I'm a new father. Once again, I got a 10-week-old, but I'm like, I got to figure out how I can get back out there and start touching more people's lives. Binary compensation, we love this. In some companies, you build a unilevel. That means you basically set up shops. You set up different franchises, miniaturized franchises, and you set them up universally, basically going straight across. In LifeWave, it's only 2 teams. You build a left team and a right team. We keep it simple, a left team and a right team. Now, we got it's very lucrative. Let me put it to you like that. And you see, I'm smiling because listen, my wife and I haven't missed a compensation or payday in weeks that have actually spilled over into years. I was going to go back and count for you, but I didn't have time. I was taking care of my baby. But you can see at the very beginning, just eclipsing the 3-star manager position, that's the first major rank. We'll help you get there by plugging into the system, being coachable, being duplicatable, right? Being willing to fight for your dream of basically getting into profit mode, just like you were willing to go to the job 5, 6, 10, 12, 13 years, right? Willing to get up at old dark 30. All we're asking is that you be willing to allow us to help you get into profit mode. 3-star manager, listen, weekly binary commission, $1,500 a week. Do you know what $1,500 extra a week would do for your household? Month after month? Do the math. 15 times 4, or what are we talking? That's what, $6,000 if my math is correct? Come on. This is a no-brainer, right? You go up and up and up. Yes, that's not a typo. 3-star presidential, $25,000 in compensation for changing people's lives, for being a messenger of hope and healing, for being able to be loving and compassionate and being willing not to keep LifeWave a secret. I mean, you literally can create your own economic future. You can take control back of your economic future for your household, for you, and for the people that you love. So love that slide as well. Again, there's now one of the beauties of LifeWave is we get compensated 9 different ways. Now, last time I checked, when I was working in aerospace, building fighter jets, I only got paid one way. I only got compensated one way. I didn't have 9 different opportunities to generate income for my household. But here we have what's called upfront income. So you can get off to an explosive start. Again, not keeping LifeWave a secret. And the company is willing to pay you an extra $225 over your first 8 weeks. Or if you're ambitious like I am and you want to impact more people's lives, well, we're willing to compensate you bonuses of up to $450 in your first 8 weeks for doing what you're going to do anyway once you plug into the system, which is sharing the technology, sending out some videos, edifying and promoting the website, and then basically following up, getting them on the phone with an expert who simply is third party. Maybe they don't know more than you about the technology, but the fact is you want to let other people who've been, doing the dance, let them do the heavy lifting for you. You can literally put rocket boosters on your business by using third party, anything outside of you. And so maybe you're like me. Look, I started working at age 15. I'm 52. I'll be 53 in May, right? And I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of, bringing value to companies. I've worked for the likes of Starbucks, McDonald's, the Golden Arches. What were we talking about? Ross Dress for Less, University of Phoenix, Northrop Grumman, major companies, but I never, not once, family, I never got compensated according to the value that I added to those entities. And most people don't mind working hard. They just want you to be fair about the profits. 86 billion in profits, but you're not going to compensate, your star players. You don't have to worry about that here. Here in LifeWave, you can build a matching check. How do you build that? Help other people create success in their business, help other people break free from the rat race, like Robert Kiyosaki talks about, if that's their goal, or just help enough people create an extra $500 a week, $500 a month. And for those who are ambitious, those hundreds can turn into thousands. But as you can see, depending on which generation, and again, it goes down. We're talking 6 generations. The compensation gets steep, and it can get steep really fast based upon your level of ambition and your desire to help people. So once again, you don't have to be a star player. You don't have to have any background in multi-level marketing, split-second marketing, the share economy, none of that. This could be the first exposure you have to the industry, and you literally can create an economic explosion for you and your household. Why? How? Through our duplicatable system. The system we've proven it time and time again. There's so many stories of actually ordinary people who've had extraordinary success that we could be on the digital platform for the next 2 hours. Background after background, different background after background of people who have actually had success and previously didn't have any success as a business entrepreneur, right? Because typically the cost to get involved we're priced out. And so you're in the right place, right time. All you got to do is say yes. Just say yes. Good stuff. So at this point in time, I would be remiss. I love the way that Dr. Tony Smith goes over the details. When they say the devil's in the details, and he makes it simple, right? You see all these numbers and these packages, but look, he's going to simplify this so that you don't have to go in an analysis paralysis. Which package should I get, and which one? Listen, just listen to what Dr. Tony Smith has to say about you planting your flag, you making a decision to get involved and to take your financial economic future for you and your household. Take the bull by the horns. And so with that, listen, bro, I turn the call back over to you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for all the information and the energy. Love that. So, guys, just so you have a basic understanding of what the company has, David Schmidt has put together the rewards program, like Leonidas was talking about. So he basically took his advertising dollars instead of trying to put this X39 on the shelves at Walgreens or CVS and hoping somebody walks by and buys it. He actually put it into the hands of the people that are going out and heralding the message, that are sharing with other people to educate them and share their own personal testimonies with the X39, because he felt that was a more effective and efficient way to get X39 into the household. So what he's, with that is that you have the ability to basically start your own business, your own franchise, that you get to dictate all the time and effort you put into it, and you can build it around what you do. You can also just be a consumer. You can just consume the product and not necessarily build a business. But we strongly encourage you to create some financial security instead of what a lot of people are suffering from right now, that financial insecurity, because they don't know if all the ends are going to meet, like Leonidas was talking about. I don't know if anybody's been affected, but I have a Ford Excursion with a 43-gallon diesel tank. Diesel is $7.50 a gallon. You almost got to take a second line of credit to go out and fill up the tank. So the thing is, people are, there's some people struggling out there to make ends meet because of all the inflation and things that are going on. So we don't want to get in that. We just want to show you a vehicle that is impacting everybody that wears the X39, because the thing is, there's not a person walking this earth that cannot benefit from the X39, because everybody that's walking this earth has a decreasing number of stem cells naturally. So if we can upregulate the production of that and the copper peptides and the wellness processes that go on in our body, we can touch everyone, and so again, it's just a matter of getting it out to the people and let people experience it. And so when you look at the business side of getting some product on hand to go out and share it with other people, you kind of get in where you fit in. You have different packages available. When Cheryl and I got started, we wanted to get this in the hands of as many people as possible the fastest. So we actually went to the biggest pack so that we could put patches in play, I like to say. And so meaning that we can get, some sample out to people and people can experience it. And then they have the money back guarantee to fall back onto as they get started. So again, you just pick a pack where you're financially able to get up and going, and know that you want to get some for you want to get some for your loved ones in your household, and then you want to get some to get out and put some samples on people's. The other thing is that you want to actually set up an auto ship so you get the cumulative benefits of the X39, meaning that the longer you wear it, the better the benefits you're going to see. It's going to continue to compounding benefits, like, finances have compounding interest. We have compounding benefits when you wear the X39. So that's the beauty of having a subscription. But also, as you start to build a team and you start to gather volume that's coming through your business, you want to be set up on that auto ship, because it also helps on the financial side of the income that you're going to receive as well. So again, get back to the person that invited you to this so you can actually pick your pack, and they can help you get started and locked in to whichever your option you decide. But like I said, there's multiple ones here. The bigger the pack, the cheaper per sleeve. So let me explain that. This sleeve has 30 of these patches, so basically a month's supply. So the bigger the pack, the cheaper the sleeve gets. It starts at $99 if you want to become a brand partner, but then it goes down to cheaper the bigger the pack. So hope that makes sense. Now, again, on the business side, you're probably saying, man, this patch sounds incredible. I know a lot of people that can benefit from it. I know a lot of people that are like athletes. They just want to live a higher quality life. They want to be productive. So I know a lot of people that could benefit. But how do I actually build a business around that? Again, you don't have to be the expert. You just need to know where to find the resources. And this is it. Info.com is the platform, like Leonidas was talking about, it's basically our LifeWave University, where you actually can go step by step and earn while you learn. That is significant because I did 8 years of college and I never earned a dime and spent a lot on education before I ever made a dime, and went into a debt to get my business started and had the debt of education before I ever became profitable. And like he was saying, we can show people how to be profitable by the end of your first, by essentially by the end of your first week, but definitely by the end of your first month, going step by step, and we lock arms with you and show you how to start to build a business. And it's a very easy duplicatable business because we do it again and again and again and show everybody the system. And that's the key component, is having a system in place that everybody can duplicate. You don't have to be the expert. So the time is now actually to make your move. Are you serious about expanding your dreams, goals, and aspirations again? Or are you just going to live in fear of the inflation and hope things come together and hope things, ends meet? We have a vehicle that really, even though we have expansive growth in almost to $1 billion, 9 out of 10 people probably have never heard of the X39. That screams opportunity, because meaning that we could be the one that delivers the message to change people's lives and go out for their health and wellness, and also for their financial status, if they see the vision of what this could potentially do. Because again, there's not a person walking this earth that can't benefit from the X39. So it's a wide open market that majority of people don't even know about yet. And so you're at the right place at the right time with the right people, because our team is the fastest growing team in this company, in the fastest growing industry. We are the fastest growing company in this industry. So again, you are at the right place at the right time, and we like to help people win. So again, thank you. Why did I go the wrong way? Again, I want to thank everybody for getting on tonight. I'm going to stop the share, and then I'm going to open it up to questions, and you'll be able to unmute yourself and you can ask some questions. Don't be afraid. We're on a more personal level, so we can ask some questions. And let me stop the share and let me stop the recording, and we will get those questions answered.